Let's get right into it. There's something really fascinating happening at FC Barcelona right now. You know, they're not just winning or losing games, they are learning. And that's what we're going to break down here. We're going to deconstruct the key lessons from their very recent journey and look at how this team is evolving right in front of our eyes.
And this idea, right here, it's the absolute key to understanding everything that's been changing at Barca lately. It really all kicks off with a pretty painful defeat, but one that was incredibly educational. It feels like it completely rewired the team's DNA for these high-stakes European nights.
So, first things first, the biggest and maybe the most crucial lesson this team had to learn was how to manage the unique pressure of these two-legged, knockout-style European matches. I mean, it's a completely different beast than just playing another game in the league.
Let's just rewind a little bit. Remember that tie against Atletico Madrid? Barca's entire run was pretty much lost in just 45 minutes of the first leg. They went down a goal, then another, and the team's reaction was just desperate. This frantic energy to try and fix it all at once. And that emotional reaction, it cost them everything.
Now this is where it gets really interesting. Look at the contrast. Against Newcastle, in a really similar situation, the approach was night and day. Instead of panicking when they went down, they showed real patience. They almost seemed to accept, hey, maybe we don't win this away leg. And instead, they focused on getting a manageable result to bring back home. That shift from panic to patience, that's a huge sign of newfound maturity.
So here's the bottom line. They've learned the art of game management. It's all about moving away from that raw, knee-jerk emotion and thinking strategically about the full 180 minutes of a tie, not just the next 5. This is lesson number 1, and trust me, it is a massive one.
And this new mindset, it leads directly into the next major challenge the team had to figure out. Finding that perfect balance between their absolutely explosive offense and, well, what was for a while, a very, very shaky defense.
Yeah, for a little while there, the attack just wasn't clicking. So what happened? How did this team, a team famous for scoring goals, suddenly roar back to life right when it mattered most?
And boom, here's your answer. Against Newcastle, the big guns really showed up. Raphinha put in a man-of-the-match performance, Lewandowski grabbed a crucial double, and the kid, Yamal, was involved in multiple goals. This is the classic Barca formula, right? An offense that's so powerful, it can make up for almost any weakness at the back. The confidence that this gives the team is just a huge psychological weapon. It sends a really clear message to every opponent they're going to face. Go ahead, score on us. We've got the firepower to outscore you anyway. And that belief, it's absolutely critical heading into this final part of the season.
But you know, it's not just the attack. Just look at the defensive transformation. A few months ago they looked, and let's be honest, they looked awful. They were giving up these clean one-on-one chances almost every 10 minutes. Now you see a real cohesion. The team presses together as a unit, and they just look so much more solid in their own defensive third.
And a huge reason for that newfound solidity is this pairing right here. You've got a teenager and a veteran, which on paper might seem like an odd mix, but based on their current form, the partnership of Pau Cubarsí and Ronald Araujo has been nothing short of a revelation. Some people would even argue they're playing like a top 8 central defensive pairing in all of Europe right now. That kind of stability is the bedrock of all their recent success.
Okay, so next up, some of the most important lessons for Barca have come not from who's on the pitch, but from who isn't. The absence of a few key players has uncovered some really fascinating truths about how this whole squad works together. Just take Frenkie de Jong's absence, for example. It sets off this incredible chain reaction. When de Jong isn't there, Pedri's workload just explodes. He's forced to drop deeper into the midfield to do de Jong's job and his own, and that pulls him away from the parts of the field where he's most dangerous, where he can really hurt the other team.
And that's the real lesson here. De Jong's value isn't just about what he himself brings to the table. It's about how his presence on the field completely unlocks the best version of other crucial players, especially Pedri. Getting him back is essential to letting Pedri be Pedri again.
And then there's this really surprising situation over at left back. Look, Balde is a fantastic, promising young player, but his absence, it's barely been felt. And you gotta ask, why? It's because Joao Cancelo has been so incredibly decisive on offense. In a team that has basically embraced this strategy of we're just going to outscore you, Cancelo's profile is simply a better fit for the biggest matches right now.
So, with all these lessons learned, in game management, in balancing the team, in understanding the squad dynamics, what does it all lead to? Well, it leads to this, the final, ultimate test of everything Barca has learned. We're talking about the La Liga title race.
Forget everything you might have heard about the league being over. This number right here, 4, that's all that matters. That's the points gap to Real Madrid.
Believe me, this title race is anything but decided.
But man, it is not going to be easy. Just look at this gauntlet of matches they have coming up. They've got to face Atletico, they've got a massive El Clasico at home, plus a bunch of other tricky games. Their destiny is completely in their own hands, but the road ahead is incredibly challenging.
And this is the most important mentality shift of all. They cannot wait around, hoping their rivals drop points. It's not going to happen. All that maturity, all that focus they've built up, it has to be applied right here, right now. They have to go out and win this league themselves.
So at the end of the day, it all comes down to this one question. We've seen the learning process, right? We've seen the painful defeats and the really intelligent adaptations, but the final question is still out there. Will this difficult but totally necessary education be enough to translate into a major trophy? Well, we are all about to find out.